Hello, Bossy World. Welcome to Boxing Block Center. Let's talk about Efe Ajagba, the one and only, and the new Nigerian nightmare. Samuel Peter was the Nigerian nightmare until, he retired. And is he retired, I guess? Samuel Peter still retired or still fighting? I think he's retired. He fought Kubrat Pulev and lost that fight as well by stoppage. So, he's already old. It's past his prime when he fought Pulev. But he was the first person to call himself the Nigerian Nightmare. Ajagba hasn't called himself Nigerian Nightmare, but I call him that because that's what he is. He's a monster, a deadly monster. So I must say that Ajagba's record so far has been impressive on paper. Look on paper. 8 fights, 8 knockouts. Ooh, impressive, right? You might say, well, Boss Rex says 7 knockouts. Well, let's be sincere right here. Curtis Alper didn't want no smoke with Ajagba. He left the ring, he ran out because he saw how dangerous Ajagba looked. He could tell, looking into Ajagba's eye, that Ajagba was not going to pity him. He wasn't going to pity him. And also his girlfriend begged Ajagba to take it easy on him at a press conference. I love the Chinese. Well, his girlfriend, Curtis Alper's girlfriend, did that. That should tell you that Jaba is not a joke. So I think his name right now, in a few months now, will be ringing bells in every division. His time is coming, like he says. My time is coming. That's what he said. He told the Ring magazine that. He said he's not going to call out Wilder or Joshua Fury. That his time will come. And when his time comes, he's going to grab it. He's going to be on top. And I agree that his time will come. A time will come for Jaba to be a very dominant name in the heavyweight division. A guy to be afraid of. But right now, when will the time come? That's what I'm asking myself. His last opponent, Santino Tumbao, got knocked out in the first round in less than 30 seconds, which was very quick. And Ajagba, you already know, that guy is a guy that's got heavy hands, Ask Deontay, he will tell you what happened. I laugh in Japanese. But the fans around the globe, especially Nigerian fans, or let's say some concerned UK fans, are beginning to question Ajagba's willingness to fight better opponents. He's still a prospect. He's got only 8 fights. But I think that Ajagba fighting guys like Santino Tumbao, he's not going to do him no good. No, that does him no good because Santino Tumbao was already 36 years old, and also he got knocked out as well before by a cruiserweight. As a Nigerian, I support Ajagba, support him and always will. But I think that Ajagba is not the fault right here. The blame has to go to Shelifinko, the manager of Ajagba. You might say Richard Schaefer, but Richard Schaefer isn't the man in charge. He might be the promoter of Ajagba, but he's not the man in charge. The man in charge is Shelifinko and Haheman. And they are the ones who need to really start stepping Ajagba up. Ajagba's last fight against Santino Tumbao was not televised. That should tell you something. If Ajagba was signed to Eddie Hearn, Ajagba would be his name. His name would be ringing bell. Would have been ringing bells already, ringing bells around the world. Eddie Hearn is a guy who knows how to promote prospect, especially prospect that has a very huge future. Ajagba's English is not perfect yet, but he's still gonna learn on it. His English is not his first language. Remember that right now, English is not my first language. I learned English in school, but I also speak other languages as well. I speak more than several languages, including Spanish, including German, Portuguese, French. You know what I mean? So, etc., etc. And Ajagba, that's why a lot of people are very concerned, especially Nigerians are concerned. And also UK fans are concerned. I've been getting messages from UK fans say, wow, listen, why can't Ajagba come to the UK, build his career in the UK? Because the heavyweight division is not in America. I think Ajagba likes America as a country. He just see America, okay, nice country, right? Good country. That's what he sees. He's not looking deep into the future. We might say Shelefinko has worked with the likes of Mike Tyson. But have you ever heard Mike Tyson talk fantastic about Shelefinko? No. Haven't we heard fighters that got signed to Shelefinko complaining about not getting paid or getting paid for less money than they expected? Ajagba now still don't have a car or don't have a driver that drives him around. Like, for example, take him around. Ajagba still uses his bicycle because he likes it. Or what? I laugh in Japanese. People will say, why you criticize Ajagba like this? Guy, I just they talk my mind. I just they yarn my mind. I'm a Niger guy. First of all, I'm a Niger guy. And also, just because I'm Nigerian doesn't mean I have to keep my mouth shut when I see a fellow Nigerian who has a huge prospect ahead of him take the wrong path. People are saying, well, let's see Ajagba against Daniel Dubois. Fans are clamoring for that fight. I don't think Frank Warren will ever try to put put Dubois in with Ajagba. He's going to get knocked out or get hurt. Dubois is a huge prospect who has a lot to learn. So don't put him in. I don't want to see him put in against Ajagba and get very hurt. Dubois might have sparred with Joshua, but sparring is different from refighting. Remember that. Dubois has a lot to learn, especially looking at his last fight against Kevin Johnson. He needs to learn, a lot to learn. So Ajagba has been, fighting for a very long time. And also, he's been in different competitions. He's competed in them and also won some as well. So Dubois hasn't. Dubois is a huge prospect that needs a lot to learn, because if he relies on his power, he's going to fail him. So I know Dubois is going to learn and he's going to develop even more. So I don't think that fight will happen. And Ajagba also called out Luis Ortiz. He was asked if he would like to fight Luis Ortiz next. He said, yeah, I'm ready. When my manager or my team say I'm ready, I'm ready. Who is his team? His team is Shelefinko, Richard Schaefer, and Al Heyman. He also has other people in his team, other influential personals in his team, but the most influential guy in his team is Shelefinko, the manager of Deontay Wilder. The same guy who fitted Deontay Wilder bombs, 39 bombs before he fought Luis Ortiz. So you think that same guy is going to put Ajagba in with, good opponents? No, he wouldn't. He is not going to... Listen, Shalefinko would not allow Ajagba to show his full potential. He's going to be marching Ajagba up with bombs after bombs after bombs after bombs. That's what he's going to do. And you see that until Ajagba leaves Shalefinko, because Ajagba's career needs elevation. And only Eddie Hearn of matchroom boxing can do that. Ajagba, he's not earning real money yet. But if he signs with DAZN, and maybe you don't have to sign with Eddie Hearn, just sign with DAZN. People get to see you fight regularly, and also thousands of people get to see you fight. Say, what? This guy's a monster. And DAZN can build his profile up, not only in America, but outside America as well. Remember, DAZN is not all in America. DAZN is here in Germany. DAZN is in Japan, in Italy, soon to be launched in Brazil and in Spain, in Austria, in Canada. So you have to know that Ajagba, with those territories involving him, he's going to get a loss of exposure. But what I don't know is that I don't know about the contract he signed with Shalefinko. I don't know for how many years that he has to be there. And his last fight, not being televised, is something very strange and a real hype opener, in my opinion. Efe Ajagba is a cruiserweight. I guess you guys know him. Some of you guys might know him. He's a very close friend to Ajagba. He's a cruiserweight prospect, very experienced in the amateur, and has about 6 fights and 6 knockouts. Very dangerous, very powerful. And both of those guys, when they got the offer from Shalefinko, they were very happy. I mean, I can understand that Shalefinko recognized them when nobody didn't. When nobody did. I mean, they recognized that these guys have talents. They accepted them. I can appreciate it. But Ajagba has come through a time to realize his vision. If his vision is to become one of the most dominant heavyweight, or one of the heavyweight division is so good right now. Guys like Ajagba are still very unknown. It's still very unknown to the boxing fans around the globe. Ajagba is very unknown. And he needs exposure. How can he do that? He needs to sign with a promoter that will take him to the promised land. And the only promoter I know that can do that right now is Eddie Hearn of matchroom boxing. You might say Oscar de la Hoya can do that, but Oscar de la Hoya is mostly, that guy is just focused on Mexican fighters, not on foreign fighters. Because he had the chance to sign Deontay to a very long-term contract, but he didn't do it. I mean, both of them are still in good contact, but it just didn't happen. So I can understand that. So guys want to see Ajagba step up in his next fight. I'm not very hopeful, but I hope they match him with someone. They match him up with someone that can take him to distance, like a 10 round. Take him to 10 round. Let's just see Ajagba go to distance. We are not saying you should put him in against Jerry Miller. I know Ajagba can do a very good job on Jerry Miller. He can do that. Guys that have power can do anything to any heavyweight. They are just like that. They are born with it. Ajagba is born with it. But I want to see him develop as well. I want to see him develop into a better fighter. In the heavyweight division, you don't just survive with power. But are we going to ever see that happen? I don't know. As long as he keeps getting or fighting guys that are below his level, he's not going to develop into a complete fighter like Joshua is. No, he's not going to, or like Dillian White. Dillian White had to take on tough competitions or competitors. He fought tough opponents like Joseph Parker, Derek Chisora twice, Lucas Brown, even Dave Allen. He took on all those guys step by step because he wanted to develop. And this is the same thing Ajagba needs. He needs to take on some opponents that can develop him, they can make him better. They can get the best out of him. Because as a fighter, you need to be complete. We can say Joshua is still learning, yeah, but Joshua is more complete than Ajagba. Under 23 fights, Joshua is already going to fight heavyweight king. That's because he got matched up with the right opponents at the right time. So let's just say the truth. So let's see what happens. Let's see when. I don't know when he's going to fight next. PBC fighters are very inactive. But I think he might probably fight maybe March or February. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe even January. But I don't know. It just depends on what Heyman and Chilifinko says. Sad, but I don't hate Chilifinko. But I think his time is past. I think boxing needs new brains. You know what I mean? So, but hey, I'm not the one to say that because Chilifinko has more experience than I ever will. He's been in the game for a very long time. He's worked with Mike Tyson. So, he's not a child in the boxing game. He's a guy who's been in even before I was born. So, I have to respect that. But I know that guys like Eddie Hearn, who have fresh brains, who are new in the game, who are the ones elevating the sport in a digital form, are the ones who will revolutionize boxing. And all those old guys are just going to spend their time and then go off. The new guys will take over. That's what I think. I might be wrong, but that's what I think. Give it to us below, guys. What do you think? What should Ajagba do? Who should Ajagba fight next? Like the video, share, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys. Cheers, everyone.